Good day, everyone, and welcome to this learning session from Training Location. We are an authorized disc distributor for Wiley Publishing, as well as a channel partner with the Ken Blanchard Companies. My name's Bill Harshman, and I'll be your presenter today for this short, informative video. In today's disc lesson, we'll discuss a deeper and broader understanding of the S or steady style. This will be helpful whether it's you who are an S style or if it is someone with whom you're dealing that is an S style. I've always encouraged learners to maintain a couple important pieces of baseline knowledge as they go along and learn the disc. These pieces are both critical to understanding. The first are the cornerstone principles that we've discussed before. All disc styles are equally valuable. Everyone is a unique blend of all disc styles, and your unique style is also influenced by other factors such as life experiences, education, and maturity. The second item that I mentioned is the basic disc model. This is especially critical to understanding the styles. Now, a person's disc style is decided by the intersection of two dimensions of observable behaviors, including body language, tone of voice, expression, and word choice. Now, the vertical dimension is known as pace. That is your outward activity level, described as either fast-paced and outspoken or cautious and reflective. Now, the horizontal dimension is known as your agreeableness quotient. This means that those who are less agreeable place a lower priority or concern for cooperation and social harmony. And we identify them as questioning and skeptical. And maybe an easier term might be result focused. Those who are more agreeable place a higher priority on on cooperation and social harmony, and we refer to them as accepting and warm. A general term for them might be people focused. Now, here's the point of this whole slide. It is the interaction between these two continua of pace and agreeableness, which forms the four quadrants or basic styles of the disc and by which you identify a person's disc style. Now, with our focus on the S style today, let's break down the pace and agreeableness interaction a bit more as it relates specifically to the S. We'll start with pace. We see that the S and C share a cautious and reflective pace. Using the S as our example style, we see that S and C share some of the same language, if you will, by nature of their similar pace. In other words, if they have a similar pace, they're more likely to be able to understand one another sooner and easier than if they have a dissimilar pace. Putting that another way, they each know a little bit about the other with whom they're interacting. Now, still focusing on the S style, let's take a look at the agreeableness. We see that S and I share accepting and warm agreeableness. And again, that's people focused. In other words, they each know a little bit more about the language of the other. You can see how I make the same inference about language that I made it the pace grid by looking at the similarity and agreeableness and their people focused approach. So you might wonder then what's next? What about the diagonal pairings, meaning in this case, the S and D relationship, the steady or dominant relationship, or the C or the I relationship? Very good question. This is where we begin to see interaction between dissimilar styles that share neither pace nor agreeableness. Now, in contrast to the above examples, neither style here knows much about the language of the other. So let's take a look a little bit further. Again, with our focus on the S style, we know that S comes from a cautious and reflective pace combined with an accepting and warm agreeableness. When the S needs to interact with the D or dominant, the first thing the S considers is that the D or dominant has a faster and outspoken pace combined with a questioning and skeptical agreeableness. This isn't a problem. It's just that this knowledge is all the S needs to encourage this successful interaction. Granted, it will take a little more planning and effort entering the conversation with the other's D style in mind. I call this extra effort stretch. One style may have to stretch or flex a little bit to quote unquote speak the language of another style, always considering the other's needs, preferences, and priorities. So I want to use the analogy here of learning a new task at work. At first, it's not easy, it's not comfortable, and requires stretch to improve. However, over time and practice, coupled with an understanding of what is required to complete the task successfully, you will need to stretch less and less to get improved results. Now let's look at some other descriptors to help you more easily and more accurately understand the S style. Let's look at an overview of the S style. We already know the two continua which indicate an S style. Now let's see more descriptors which help us understand better. Priorities of an S include giving support, maintaining stability, enjoying collaboration. If they had a motto, it would be, let's do it together. They're motivated by stable environments, sincere appreciation, cooperation, and opportunities to help. If they have fears, they would be or include loss of stability, change, especially rapid change, loss of harmony, and this is a big one we'll talk about later, and also offending others. If there's other descriptors that you could go with to identify an S, they would include even-tempered, accommodating, patient, humble, tactful. If there's limitations to an S, it could be overly accommodating or having a tendency to avoid change and even indecisiveness. Now here's an excerpt from an actual DiSC profile report for an S style, and you see it there. I'm going to read along. You place a high value on providing support, which we've already seen. You tend to be a good listener, and as a result, are seen as patient and accommodating. You're likely to do what it takes to maintain a friendly, harmonious environment. You also prioritize stability and often focus on maintaining a predictable, orderly environment. Your cautious nature supports your methodical pace and avoids rapid change. Last, you prioritize collaboration and value a trusting, warm environment where you want others to feel included and accepted with a focus on friendly teamwork. Diving further into understanding the style, we need to look beyond simply observable behavior. Wiley research identifies that each style also has core need or needs. Now, the core need or driving assumption of an S is simply harmony. You have a strong need to know that things are running smoothly and evenly, minimal tension, avoid conflict and avoid resistance, and no looming dangers on the horizon in both their relationships and their tasks. Your strengths as an S coworker may include any or all of the following: being a good listener, excellent teacher or coach, placing a high value on providing support, patient and accommodating, maintaining a predictable, orderly environment, working at a steady, methodical pace, and making sure people feel included and accepted. Your limitations as an S coworker may include modesty, which can appear as submission, emphasizing others over yourself or themselves, letting your people orientation interfere with quick decisions, and may become indecisive under pressure or sudden rapid change. Now, as an S, you can improve your effectiveness by displaying self-confidence, embracing change, especially rapid change, and also exhibiting true feelings and not letting your opinions be passed by or passed over. What more do you need to know about the S or steady style? Well, there's much more to discover by taking the DiSC profile. In future lessons, we'll learn about motivators and stressors, how to connect with all four styles, solving problems with all four styles, dealing with tension between styles, and 3 key strategies to deal with all styles. I hope this overview has increased your awareness, knowledge, and familiarity of the DiSC, and specifically the S or steady style. Whether your needs include onboarding, employee engagement, culture change, conflict management, team building, or simply communication, DiSC is the research-based, proven leading training solution. It's impacted more than 8 million learners in over 130,000 organizations and through 14 languages in over 70 countries worldwide. This provides a quick, intuitive way to understand yourself and others. And this delivers immediate and lasting impact on people and culture of the organizations. And as always, the key to effectiveness through DiSC is understanding your and other styles, then using that knowledge for improved interactions. Here's our contact info. And before you go, I want to extend you a resource and a request. I'll be happy to send you a sample PDF of any of the DiSC profiles you see on our website, traininglocation.com, or if you'd like to discuss a complimentary live webinar introducing DiSC or one of our profiles to your team or organization, email me at info@traininglocation.com. Be sure and check out our learning blog at the website. And before you close your screen, we always appreciate your like, your share, your download, and of course, for continued learning, please subscribe and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Thanks for joining us and goodbye till next time.